Well, hello and good morning, everyone, and welcome to Portsmouth Coffee Talk. This is Slim Overton, and I'm here with the other host, Leah Drake Stith. And good morning, Leah. How are
Good
you on
morning,
this
James. How are you?
chilly morning and
It's a
in
cold
the
morning, James. It's not chilly. It is cold.
this is cold. I remember I used to come home and say, "Oh, it's chilly out there." My mom said, "No, it's cold."
It's cold out there.
And but anyway, we're in the Christmas season, and it comes so quickly, or came so quickly this year. I really wasn't thinking about it, and was riding out Saturday and looking at the WalMarts and the different shopping centers and all
Uh-huh.
the cars, and it kind of reminded me that this is the Christmas season, and people
It's
are
the
out
season.
doing this shopping thing. And if Trump really wanted to say something, I guess he would show people out there shopping. I guess
You
and
said
say, see
the
what I did, see what I
economy
did
is
for you.
he would say the economy is great.
Yeah, he would take the credit for that. But people usually are prepared for Christmas, but
Yeah,
that's just optics, because you really don't know what
it
other
is. It
people
is.
might be. Even the people out there shopping, probably had to cut back a lot and
And
everything like that. So
exactly, James. And plus, this new thing that they have now with this Affirm and Afterpay and all of that is still giving people an option to purchase items without having to pay a high interest when you pay it
right,
back,
right,
So it helps people out some to be able to use some of those services that's been provided for us to, to purchase items and just pay it over time, without
yeah,
paying a high
you,
interest. It lets you do with
yeah,
credit
you're
card.
trying to. It's some companies trying to work with people, and it's for their own benefit too, because
They
you know
gain from it as well. That's right.
a
That's
lot
right.
of companies, this is their bread and butter time of the
They,
year. So when
it
they really
really is.
make all of their money, so
Uh-huh.
they have to do something. I know Renee went to Ollie's yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and it was opening later because they had a sale, and she said she'll wait. And while she was
Uh-huh.
waiting, a line formed out there,
Jay,
because it was like whatever percentage off. It
uh-huh.
was a, a, a worthwhile percentage off, and the line form. This is Ollie's. It's a
But you know,
place where people frequent, but I never
yeah.
seen lines there for people to go
Yeah,
in. But
and Ollie's is a great secret because I hadn't been in Ollie's in years, and a young lady came by and she was telling me about some things she'd gotten from Ollie's, and I went there and I was amazed at the items that they had and the prices on those
hmm
items made it worthwhile to go there to purchase the items you're looking for Christmas.
yeah, I mean they have
So I
quite a
can't
bit.
imagine
Then
a line, that's for sure.
yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna show this video to somebody from Ollie's, because we giving them free press. Maybe they'll be one of our sponsors.
Amen. I agree with you on that one, James.
About that. But anyway, what a great time of the year anyway, and uh, we're going to talk about some things. One thing I want to mention too before you remember when the Democrats were, and this is like political, the Democrats were holding out, and it was a question: well, should they really hold out to get what they really want,
Uh-huh.
or are the people that need to snap and need and on furlough, they needed those checks, which
Uh-huh.
they did, but a lot of people were upset because they felt like Democrats caved in and should have still held out, and it might have been a sacrifice, but it might have been worth it. But
Exactly.
those several Democrats, went the other way. Some people said fine, and some people said no.
Right.
But they said, well, you can't trust the Republicans because they
Uh-huh.
promised, okay, we're going to vote on this, and
Uh-huh.
and then here, most people say, well, they're not going to agree with everything. So here it is. When the vote comes down, we're right back where we
Right back where we
pretty
started.
much where we started. And a
Exactly.
lot of people kind of knew that was going to happen, but
Mhm,
it
mhm.
was kind of a push and shove thing.
It
Those
really
people
was.
needed those jobs, and
Exactly.
but so they kind of had each other over a barrel,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
but the Republicans had the Democrats more over a barrel because they had to, consider the people that they represented.
Exactly, exactly. And, an
And
amazing thing is, though, I think that it really highlighted what impact, the decisions of that bill. I'm not gonna call it a big, beautiful bill that they want to call it, but, uh, if you have not felt the impact, you will feel it at the end of this month if they don't do anything, not if, because they don't not gonna have enough time to do anything about the health insurance prices. One lady said that her policy was going up from, um, was it from $200 to $800 a year? Who can afford $800 for health insurance? And some individuals, it's even gonna go up higher, but I think it was worth the holdout in order to make people aware of what is about to take place with the changes in the healthcare coverage here, in America.
yes, we're really gonna have to pay attention and see what happens when what the new year brings.
Exactly, exactly.
It's going to be kind of crazy because you hear so many conflicting reports, and
Mhm.
but one thing for sure, we know the economy is not like Trump says it is. I mean, it's a
Not
lot
at
of
all.
things. Things are high. Just go shop. That's all you have to do.
Let's go shop
But
and look at the difference
like
in
we
the
said,
cost and what
people
items cost, the difference in the price that items cost, you
and
know?
and like we said, people gonna always stay in the spirit of Christmas because it's a time where people really want to end of the year and relax and do things, especially if you
Exactly.
have families. You don't want to deny your children of this time of the year because the economy bad is bad because they don't really understand. So
They don't.
uh, people are doing what they can do, and
Mhm,
and
mhm.
so hopefully they'll have a nice holiday season, even though we
That's
are
right.
kind of under the water, you know.
Exactly.
National,
And just hopefully people will not get so much into debt, that the first of the year it hits them all at once,
right?
uh,
Yeah.
and you're facing all those charges that you've made, uh, purchasing items for individuals. And I just hope it doesn't, throw people over the edge, really.
Yeah,
This
well,
economy is enough to throw you over the edge. Then you get this big bill from purchasing all these items that people are tossing aside, uh,
and then have that added
have that added
insurance
burden.
costs.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, which is very important. So I hope we come out or something good comes out of it, because the health insurance is so important. And I
So
guess we'll
important.
be talking about that as time goes on anyway.
Exactly.
But we are here this morning, Leah. I talked to you. I said, well, Leah, because we always talk in the morning. I say, well, what have you done this week? Or I can say, what have you done today? And you have a list, at least 4 or 5 things that you have gone to. And
Yeah,
so I said, well, why don't we catch up with Leah this morning? I guess you saw the promotional picture,
I did. I
what
did.
I call it on the
On
event road with
on the
Leah.
event road. That's for sure.
Yes, indeed. And I said, well, let's have some fun with that because you're always everywhere and you have even when you didn't have the time, you made the time to be everywhere, which is a good thing. And a lot of people that don't go or can't get out to those things
Mhm.
get the opportunity to tune into your page on Facebook and find out what's going on. So
All the wonderful things that are taking place in this area.
how
So
about
many
it? And
good
it's a
things.
lot. So go ahead and get us started, wherever you want to start. Yeah,
Well,
even if it goes back into November. Well, let me. I don't know if we mentioned it. Let me. Oops. I just wanted to be patient with me here.
we are patient with you, James.
Okay. I just wanted to show that even though that was last month, I don't know if we mentioned it here, but you can celebrate. When you have a birthday this late in the month, you can celebrate to the end of the year.
You
So,
can celebrate
uh,
as long as you want to celebrate. And James, and usually I don't like celebrating my birthday, but this year has been exceptionally a good year to celebrate. I've just been surrounded by such amazing people who have poured into me. And I'm just so thankful for the pouring in that they have done, the little things that they did to make my birthday a special time. And every time I thought that we were over celebrating, something else would take place that will once again remind me of all the wonderful people that I have in my life, of which I am extremely, extremely grateful. And they were truly kind to me this year. As I celebrated my birthday. So it's been a great year. It's been a great year. You know,
Yeah,
I
that's
cannot
why I wanted to put that up there because I noticed doing your posts about the birthday and and we have them every year, of course.
mm-hmm.
And this year it seems like people it was a little different. It was a little more special this year for some
It really
reason. Maybe
was.
people just wanted to show their appreciation to you and those things come up when you least expect it because you're
Mm-hmm.
just out there doing what you do and your
Exactly.
birthdays for
Exactly.
everybody is special. And this year it just seemed like it was a little more where people poured a little bit more into you, letting
A
you know
little
how
bit
much they
more.
love you and how much they appreciate you. So
Yeah, it
that's
was. It
why
was.
I just
It,
wanted to.
yeah, thank you so very much. But it really was a great year this year, and my alumni association. I just cannot speak about them. They are just such amazing people that I have an opportunity to work with. And they showered me with beautiful flowers. After the flowers, I just put them out this week. That's how long they last from that November 18th birthday. So uh, they lasted as long as my celebrations
Yep.
lasted. So that was a blessing as well. So
Yeah, let
it's
me,
been a
let me
good year.
make sure I get you back.
There we are.
Okay, there you are.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get you back on the other frame too. But anyway,
Okay.
go ahead and start with us and let us
Whew.
know a little bit about what you've been doing, what you've been up to.
What has taken place this year? Well, first of all, I was out on FMLA taking care of my husband, who has some health challenges, and which afforded me a little more time to do some things that I like to do as well while out on FMLA. It gave me an opportunity those days when he had someone here with him that I had an opportunity to go and to visit with people who I generally would not have an opportunity to be around. So it was a good time as we took care of him and moved on. And my niece has started a business, an home care business, in which she takes in those seniors who are in nursing homes, but the families don't want them in nursing homes. They can't take the time to take care of them in their homes. So they want a home setting for their loved ones who have aged.
Hmm.
And she has an amazing lady there who is in her 80s. And I go in the evenings and I sit with her and we read and we do little exercises and we talk. And it's just such a blessing to see her and to see the love that's being showered. It's a reminder that because someone doesn't have the same skin color as you, don't look like you, there's so much love. And then individuals who don't look like you, who don't share your skin color. Miss Jean doesn't share my skin color. However, she is such a wonderful lady to sit down with. And she's kind of helped me to realize that in some things you need to slow down on. I was an avid listener, watcher of MSNBC from the time I would get up in the morning until the time I would go to bed at night, and even leave it on at night to hear if any changes took place in the political world. Well, she helped me to realize that it's time to kind of slow down on those kind of things and focus on the things that are important. And the things that are important are being with people who you love and people who you respect. Taking that time to do some different things. James, I watched Little House on the Prairie, all of the series with her. Do you hear me? I never watched Little House on the Prairie in my life. Do you?
Oh, when it was out, you never watched.
Never watched it. Do you hear me? Never.
Yeah, even I would watch it occasionally. It wasn't something I would run home to watch, but if it was
Yes.
on some nights, I would watch it because they always had lessons.
Yeah,
You know,
life lessons. So many
yeah,
life lessons. And but I've watched those with her. Um, I was blessed to also since that time to attend the oath of office for LaVonda Graham Williams, one of Norcom's finest, the class of 1993. And I hope you have a
yeah,
picture of Miss LaVonda Graham
yeah.
Williams.
Let me see. I think I do.
Yes, yes. You know, when LaVonda came back to Portsmouth, I told LaVonda, I said, girl, you're going to be the first African American judge on the circuit court for the city of Portsmouth. And honey, God listened and he blessed her, and she is now the first African American woman on the circuit court bench in the city of Portsmouth. And I am just so proud of her. I'm so proud of the positive energy that she brought back to Portsmouth when she came back to be the city attorney. All of her staff loved her. She's such a kind and generous person and so worth having been given the honor of becoming a circuit court judge. And we know that with LaVonda, she is going to reign over folks with justice and consideration because that's just who she is. So we're surely are proud of LaVonda Graham and all that she's going to bring back to the city of Portsmouth. Um,
Yeah, yeah. And a footnote, Leah. While we have a Judge Morrison in the picture there, because I think that's the
yes.
only picture I have with him in it. You know, it's so setting that he's about to retire, and
Exactly.
he's the one that swore her in,
Swore her in.
and she's kind of replacing he and
And Ken Melvin.
and Ken Melvin on the
Uh-huh.
bench, and we'll talk about the other circuit court judge in there.
Yes.
And it's amazing, and we always talk about Nork, and it's amazing how that's if I can think of right off, and my dad went to Norcom, he was a substitute judge, but I can think about right off now 4 judges coming out of IC Norcom.
Coming out of IC Norcom.
Now, isn't that amazing? And two coming out of the same 1970 year, which is Judge Morrison and
And
Judge
Miss
Melvin,
Melvin, yes,
and,
yes,
and and that's amazing within itself. And
it is.
surely we have to uh, commend Judge Morrison for his time on the bench because when you think about and the circuit court, and they're the courts that handle the really, and all the courts in there that the judges appointed to are important. But
Hmm,
you
hmm.
know you have the general district, you have the juvenile, and you have the circuit court. And the circuit court is where you get the murders and the
Exactly,
real heavy
exactly.
cases, and all the other circuit court and general district are very important too because you get cases that go to them. But you know, Judge Morrison was the kind of judge. You talked about Graham Williams, knowing she's going to be fair and partial, and as far as being a judge, Judge Morrison believed, now if you broke the law and
Uh-huh.
you deserved to get jail time, you would get it. But he also had the attitude that a lot of people might have needed a second chance, and that drug court that he established
Exactly.
uh, and years ago and had gave so many people opportunities to rectify themselves or clean themselves up or well,
Exactly.
and the system wasn't fair, especially at the one point where people would have a habit like that, and they just go to send them to jail,
Ha-
because they broke the law, and these people were given opportunities, long as they
Exactly.
followed the rules that they had established.
Hmm, hmm.
So many people got a second chance.
Exactly. And if you have the picture of it, I don't know if you have the picture of his the celebration that they had for Judge Morrison down at Zion Baptist Church,
Yeah, I
where
didn't get that.
okay, where
I
many of
wish I
the
did. That's
people who went through the program, they were able to come together to thank him for giving them that second opportunity. And they said, and the most important thing that many of them said is that when they would come before him, when they would mess up, he would tell them, "Well, we fall down, but we get up." And that was a motto that many of them have lived by. So it's just a wonderful thing here with the service that Judge Morrison has given to those individuals who have gone through the drug court. I see you have a picture of Ken up here, and
Yeah, I wanted to show Ken too, also
yeah,
retiring, and people didn't know. The people that don't know, he's the other one that we were mentioning that graduated from IC Norcom in
1970.
1970. And who would have thought that two young men, one from Manor and one from Baba, two different sort of upbringings,
Well,
you know.
actually both of them grew up in the housing community.
Oh, did you? But
Yes,
Ken ended up in Manor though.
Chaplain Manor. Uh-huh. Yes,
But he
yes.
started out. I didn't know. I thought he was in Manor the whole time. But so both of them started it, from humble beginnings, and even in Manor, that's could be humble beginnings as well because. Uh, Manor is broad and it's sort
Uh-huh.
of different stages of life there. But you know,
Exactly.
but two judges coming out of school, and I hope we get a chance to bring them on the show since they're retired, if they can, to talk about their that experience. Did they were they thinking that when they were in high school? That
That they would
one
become
day
judges.
I'm gonna be a circuit court judge, and so
And
that's gonna be an interesting story.
and the thing with Ken Melvin is, when he went to Richmond, I went to Richmond as his legislative assistant.
That's right. That's
So
right.
Ken and I, we have a long history going back to when he became a delegate in the House of Delegates. So Ken is he's done some great he did some great things in the House of Delegates while he was
Hmm.
there. He's a very he's a person who thinks situations through, not quick to action, and think it through and try to come up with the most plausible um, answer to the problems that are presented to him. So it's going to be both have been extremely good circuit court judges, Ken Melvin and Judge Morrison, and they both will retire at the end of December. And that's why Lavonda and Massey have just been sworn into office. So they're going to have a celebration for Ken and Johnny Morrison coming up this sometime this week, I think it is, and in celebration and thanking them for the service that they have provided to the city of Portsmouth. So
Yeah, that's gonna be Friday at 12. Yeah, so
yes,
I'm
yes,
gonna make sure I'm gonna be there because I'll add this about Johnny Morrison. One of the things when he talked about it at one of his events when he I think it was at the well, he talked about it one of these events. He's been making his rounds and retirement rounds, and he talked about how he came out of law school and went into practice. Well, he worked. I can't remember what his first job, but he ended up working with my father. He and Marilyn
yeah,
Sally, and it
yeah,
was like a Overton, Morrison, and Sally. And
uh-huh,
I remember that time when the time we were coming from vacation, and my dad stopped at the office, and Johnny was coming there. I remember when he told him he was going to run for Commonwealth Attorney.
uh-huh.
He had been convinced to run for Commonwealth Attorney, and you know, and he was a part of the Central Civic Forum as well as Ken Melvin.
Yes, he was. Yes, he
Both of
can.
those guys were very civically minded before they went
They were.
into
They were.
what they were doing. So as young attorneys, they made their way through the community. So and I think that really helped. By the time they got to the bench, they had those connections with the community, Ken with the legislation, and
Exactly.
and Johnny with Commonwealth Attorney. So they were really prepared. As you talk about these days about people being in high positions and not really. qualified or prepared. But these
Exactly.
guys were really prepared for that circuit court position.
And James,
So, you
James,
know.
while you're talking, I'm gonna close this door so that you would not hear my dog
Oh, okay. Well,
having a fit.
yeah,
I'll
she's
be right
just
back.
agreeing. She's agreeing with. I think she's met both of those gentlemen, so she's probably
keep
agreeing.
keep talking for a minute.
Yes, but I think these two gentlemen already made history and going to go down in history uh, as great jurors in the circuit court of the city of Portsmouth, and we're proud of them, and of course we're proud of them as greyhounds, and as they went on to their secondary education. Uh, I think Johnny went to George Washington undergrad and law school, if I'm not mistaken, and it's the same school that I think Graham Weavers went to, right?
I'm not really sure. I'd have to
Yeah,
look that one up.
I think she
Uh-huh.
went to George Washington, but anyway,
Uh-huh.
and Ken went to a Ivy League school, didn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't want to give out any incorrect information. I really should have looked that one up, really.
Okay, I
I'm
should
trying to
have too, but
remember. Yeah.
I think I remember he went to one of the Ivy League schools.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's them, and we really appreciate them. So that was a part of things going on, and they're still celebrating the two of them. So we look forward to what's going to happen, what they're going to do afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Johnny. Somebody asked him about could he get back in politics if he doesn't register to be a substitute judge,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of those retired judges do.
They
They
do.
they um, they become substitute judges, and
Mm-hmm.
they can fill in, at different places. You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
but if he doesn't do that, he could get back in politics. But I'm thinking he's going to stay within the judgeship,
Yeah,
be
I
a
don't think
substitute
they want to
judge.
take on too many additional challenges. This is the
Not at
time
this
for them to
point. They
have a new journey in life, or a new journey of little leisure time and time for the family, and do those things that are important to them. But our next judge also is Judge Massey, Judge Jerome Massey.
yeah. Let's see. I have a picture.
And he is one who I used to like to just go and sit in the courtroom to listen to him litigate his cases. So I can
Yes,
imagine, I can't wait to sit in the courtroom to see how he is on the other side of the bench. He has had a very, very good, he has a very great success rate in the city of Portsmouth in defending individuals in the city of Portsmouth. He and Nathan Chapman practiced together. So did Don Scott practice with them as well.
yes, yes.
So they had a rich success history here in the city of Portsmouth and winning cases for individuals in Portsmouth. So, and the amazing thing is, as he's doing something that most African American families don't get to do, he's getting to leave his law firm to his children, which is going to be something that we don't get to see that often, an African American family being able to leave a law firm to their children. His son and his daughter
And
both
his
have
daughter. The
both
son
are
was
attorneys.
always kind of there and convinced the daughter to come in because she was doing her own thing somewhere
Yes,
else.
yes,
So that has to be a sense of pride where he can stick his chest out about that and move on to the
exactly.
judgeship.
Uh-huh.
And don't forget, he before he went into private practice, he was at the Commonwealth
Commonwealth
Attorney's
attorney,
office,
Commonwealth
like
attorney.
second in command. So that's
And
what made him such a great defense lawyer. That
right.
experience he had on the other side.
And the thing was, I didn't know he was a deputy clerk in the city of Portsmouth. I didn't know that he held that position as well.
I did not know that either.
So
And
he has seen it in full circle,
yes,
He's been there in full circle. So
not born and raised in Portsmouth, but I'm sure if he was, he would have been an IC Norfolk.
and you
Had
know
to,
he would have been.
but
And
he grew up
and you
in Richmond, I believe. Yeah,
and the good thing was to see his sister. That's his sister to the right.
yeah.
She is also a judge, and she was able to give him the oath of office. So
Wow. Okay, I didn't know his sister was a judge.
yeah, that was his
Where
sister.
is she a judge? Yeah, you know.
Um, in Virginia, somewhere here in
Mm,
Virginia. Yeah, she's a judge, and his brother is an attorney. So
Yeah.
they have a powerhouse of legal folks in his family,
Yes.
you know?
Indeed, and he's been on the show before, and to hear how they had humble beginnings too,
Exactly.
and that's why we talk about them and their stories because it gives hope to kids that feel like it's no hope or they're going to
Exactly.
be stuck in one position all their life, and it's really not true.
It's
Even
not
though
true.
sometimes people try to tell them that
Uh-huh.
this is where you're going to be, or guide them in a direction they think they need to be. When
Exactly.
when the it's open for them to be whatever they want to be. I mean, that's
Exactly.
a true statement. Some people put it down, say you can't tell kids that, but
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I think you could always tell kids you can be whatever you want to be,
And
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 you
the truth
have to
is,
have that attitude.
exactly, and where you are today is not where you're going to be tomorrow.
Indeed,
The destiny of your path is in your hands. You make that decision where you want to go, you
yeah,
know, and you have the opportunity to get there as long as you do the things to prepare yourself to move
yes,
in the direction in which you want to go. So,
yeah, and whatever you do, you can still make a difference.
exactly,
You
exactly.
can still
You know,
make a
and James,
difference.
and that's why I like being around the students. Not just Norcom students. I prefer. I really love my Norcom students, but
Oh,
I just love
that's
being.
gonna be where our heart is.
That's where
But
my
I'm
heart
like
is.
you, Leah. I appreciate all the students from all the different schools, and when
Exactly.
at games or something like that, or at events, I just appreciate. And sometimes I just stand back in awe and appreciate. This is when you get to this age, you kind of look and see where our future is going or where our future
Exactly.
is,
Exactly.
and I just don't believe all the hype or all the attention that's paid to the ones that might be going astray. When there's
Exactly.
so many of them that are doing
That are
what
doing
they
the
need
right
to
thing.
do to
Right.
make sure that especially the black community is
Uh-huh.
represented well, you know,
Exactly. Exactly.
in a lot of different fields out there.
Uh-huh. And you see that daily. I tell you, for the longest time, my thought was that after the 70s, that well, I should say after the 90s, that the energy that we felt with the students, I can only speak for Norcom High School, okay, because I'm there all the time. But the energy that we felt in Norcom during the 90s and below, it just didn't exist anymore. Because
Hmm.
kids have choices now. Of course, those of us who were at Norcom originally, many of us, it was the only place we could go. For others, they had to have a certain grade average in order to be in Norcom. And then you have generational people who have come to Norcom. But when I walk through the halls now and I talk to some of those students, I am just amazed at the wonderful students that are in the school who are taking the initiative to do the right thing and to be a part of the environment. I know I'm jumping ahead of things, but
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, this
Sabrina
is.
Bass, the young lady who she came and spoke at the alumni meeting on behalf of DECA in order to get individuals to join the DECA program. And when I got a call from my mentor Richardson to ask me for the name of a young person to present at the AKA Summit on Leadership this past Saturday, I submitted Sabrina's name. Let me tell you what, that young lady did an amazing job. Sabrina Bass, she's the DECA president, she's her class president. I think she's with the Versatile 100 band, but she's an entrepreneur, has her own business. And James, we got to get her on Portsmouth Coffee Talk. This this young lady held her own with all of the powerhouses, the doctors and the
Mm,
college uh, individuals who have high positions in college. She held her own on that stage on Saturday, and really brought the young people together. She had them active. She had them engaged. Um, when the questions were asked on the panel, she answered the questions like a seasoned person up there. And I was just so impressed. And that is a result of Mrs. Thornton Bland and the work that she's doing with the DECA students on leadership. And I'm telling you what, We have to get her on this show. That young lady is so impressive, and she did an amazing job on Saturday at the leadership conference, leadership summit for the AKAs. So, want to thank her for all that she's doing as well.
Yeah, I thought I had a picture of that. I came across it, but I didn't pull it up. But
Uh huh.
I really kind of ran out of space.
I
Um,
understand.
but anyway, yeah, thanks for mentioning that, and that goes right in what we were talking about as far as how great some of these students are doing, and hopefully one of the things that we'll be able to do going forward, especially into the new year, make sure we focus uh, some shows on these young people and let people know how great it is, and because the focus is either on ath- sports or something like that,
Athletic.
and
That's
and
right.
and nothing wrong with that because to be involved in sports these days, you have to have those grade point averages. But
Exactly.
uh,
Exactly.
you know,
And we got many guys who are playing sport. Any individuals playing sports who are student athletes as well.
yeah,
So
and
they put scholarship before the sport itself. So
yeah,
which is a good thing.
student athlete, student comes first, and then the athlete comes
Exactly.
first, and you have to
Exactly.
be amazed at the ones that are involved in sports, and
Hmm.
I've been there, so it takes a little extra to
It
keep up
does.
that with your
It
work. I mean, you
does.
coming home, if you're a
Hmm.
basketball player, you're practicing every night, but you still have homework.
Hmm. Hmm.
After school, you go
Exactly.
straight to practice, and then you uh,
Hmm.
run until it depends on your coach. He runs until your tongue's hanging out, and then you have to come home and get that homework because
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
teachers the next day they don't want to hear, hey, I had practice last night and I couldn't do
They don't
that,
want to
but
hear it. They don't
yeah.
want to hear it.
So
Yeah.
I see Huddy is saying amen because Huddy Williams
Uh-huh.
was a track, he was on the track team, so he knows
Hmm.
you know how how difficult that is. So when you think about these
Right. Right.
student athletes,
Right.
think about the sacrifice they have to
Hmm.
do.
James, and you know what? You never realize where God is going to lead you, where He's going to place you. Um, I was with Sheriff Moore for about 8 years, and I truly am so thankful for everything that Sheriff Moore poured out into my life and the opportunities that were afforded me during my time that I was there. I did resign in November, and primarily because I know I need to be here to do some things for my husband with his medical needs, but also I was led to remember my purpose. And my purpose is to be in the community, to be of service to the people in the community, to spread goodwill in the community. And that's where I am at my best. I am my best person when I can be around people who are struggling to do things that are right, people who are doing things that are right, and just being amongst the people and to be able to share with the community all the great things that are going on in the city of Portsmouth. Although I don't live in Portsmouth anymore, I grew up in Portsmouth, I went to school in Portsmouth, and everything that I do is still in Portsmouth. And sometimes when you step outside of Portsmouth, and you hear people saying all the negative things about Portsmouth. There's so many good things going on in Portsmouth. And I feel blessed that I can use my social media page in order to share such amazing things that are taking place. Leticia Sessoms, that young lady, oh my goodness, she puts her heart and energy in Portsmouth. She is on the school board. She runs like she has the one of the largest uh, Halloween events for the children of Portsmouth, and she is colorful. She is who she is. She is a Leticia, and she's not going to change for anybody else. And she
let,
throws an amazing Christmas celebration at
yeah
the
let me
Children's Museum.
let me say this right quick. I saw a message from Wesley Van, and I just want Wesley. I didn't see your note about you agreed to come on, but I did just send you a email invite. If you like to pop up, please do check your email. And I just sent you an email invite where you can pop up right now if you want to. But go ahead, continue.
But Leticia, she had
Yeah, Letitia, I agree with that.
a
She's great.
colorful Christmas this year at the museum. I mean, it was so exciting. It brought the inner child in you out. This is why I like being in the community. This is why I need to be in the community. I mean, right from Santa and Mickey arriving on an old fire truck to having the Grinch and Santa and
Yeah, look, and the Grinch.
musicians
She's right there
and
with right
yeah,
there facing the Grinch.
yes, yes. I mean, this young lady, she is doing some amazing things in the city of Portsmouth. And to no charge to the individuals who attended. They got food, they were entertained, they got to hang out in the museum. Um, it was just a great day for the city of Portsmouth with her colorful Christmas at the museum, and that's indeed what it was. I had a ball. Do you hear me? I I was taking pictures with Santa and with the Grinch and everybody who was there, and I got chastised by my brother. He said, "Why did you get to take all your pictures with Santa and with the Grinch, and the kids didn't take the picture?" Well, my niece Ava was volunteering. Well, she and my nephew DJ were volunteering, and Ava was working the wristband desk, and she didn't want to leave. You know, she was right there on the job, and we had to make her stop to eat. And but it was just I mean, and DJ was filling in where he needed to fill in, but it was just a great, and to see citizens of Portsmouth coming together, loving on each other, no animosity. Boy, that politics has just put such a split in the city. But let me tell you what, to see people from all walks of life in this museum together celebrating the beauty of Christmas. And I mean, Leticia, the city of Portsmouth owe her a debt of service because she really brings a positive viewpoint of the city of Portsmouth every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, and not only just those times, but with the work that she's doing with the citizens of Portsmouth. So I just want to commend her for all the great things that she's doing in the city of Portsmouth. And she is on the Portsmouth School Board, and she continues to do well in that capacity as well. So
And
Leticia is
the business she has
a
is as
business
well.
owner, community of change,
Yeah.
working with children who are artistic, um, just doing some great mental health things for the young people in the city of Portsmouth. So she is indeed a breath of fresh air in the city of Portsmouth.
Yeah, and you know that just reminds me of how many great things many of citizens and people that didn't originally come from Portsmouth but decided
Exactly.
to end up in Portsmouth and just be a part of what we're trying to do here. Is something
Mhm.
clicked when they came to Portsmouth or whatever brought them here and opened their business and then really got involved in the community. And we have so many
Exactly.
people that are involved like that,
Mhm,
especially this
mhm.
time of the year. People who have gone on to do great things and prosper
That's
and
right.
end up giving back and
Giving
sharing
back to the city.
what they have or what they've
Mhm.
learned to the people. And you don't have to be multimillionaires to give back to your
You
community.
don't.
You can give back
It's
of
little
yourself.
things. Little
Yeah,
things
the
you can
little
do.
things that you do, just giving up
Exactly.
a little bit of time,
Mhm,
serving on a board or commission.
mhm.
And I will always encourage people like that. It's not just for uh, people that are in different positions. It's for
Mhm.
everybody to can serve on these boards and
Right, right,
commissions and be a
right,
part of the
right.
process of making
Mhm.
Portsmouth what it is,
Exactly.
a great city to live in. And I see this Adrian McCall. Is this one? I guess she's one of the McCalls
Donica
from the
McCall.
Truxton neighborhood, right?
That's the neighbor, Donica McCall.
Yeah.
Yes.
And who I'm thinking the brother that was in school when I was there at Norfolk when
Brother,
I
we
was
used to
there.
call him brother, Willie McCall Jr.
Willie McCall, yeah.
Willie
I often
McCall,
see him
yes.
on Facebook. Yeah, we
Uh-huh.
we were at Norcom together and we had a good time while we were there. But she
Yes.
says, thank
And they're
God
my
for Portsmouth
neighbors.
Coffee Talk. It's exactly what the city needs to get the vital and necessary information out. Thank you. I really appreciate it, and appreciate you always showing up and supporting us
That's for
by
sure.
watching and sharing that information. We appreciate you too.
And James, and to go back a little further in time, we ran into a little hailstorm when we tried to, when the Alumni Association um, through the requests by some athletes to have the Norcom Field named after Horace Savage, and we had to pull back from that, and um, and so but in the interim, we were able to a team got together and we were able to get a street in Truxton named after Horace. Horace Savage gave like millions of years of service to the city of Portsmouth.
Yeah, 100 years. Well,
He's a
he
hundred
didn't give
years old.
100 years,
He's a
but
little
he's a
over
hundred
100.
years old.
And this is my goal as well, is to go to some of these individuals who've given so much to the city, who are now in their 90s, in their 100 year, in order to share with the public the great things that they have done. So we do have a street on Portsmouth Boulevard where Mr. Savage grew up, between Frederick and Deep Creek Boulevard, which has been named Horace Savage Way. We were thankful that we were able to get that done. And also, if you remember, James, the athletes in the black schools, they participated in the VIA, the Virginia Interscholastic Association.
Hmm.
And since that time,
And that let it be known that was the Black
the
Association,
Black
right?
Association for
Right.
Athletes. And since that
When
time,
everything was sort of separated.
exactly. So VIA now has a historical society which is run under Mr. James Hollins in Charlottesville, in which they are trying to preserve the history of those 115 historically black schools that at one time was in Virginia, which we're now down to 3 historically black schools in Virginia, and there's a possibility we may lose Booker T. I was speaking with Miss Yvonne Wagner at the Journal and Guide event, and there's a possibility we may lose Booker T, which means there will be only 2 historically black high schools in the state of Virginia. Uh, and
Yeah, I think it'll be too many people to fight that.
I hope so.
Just
I
like the
pray so.
Norcom cause. At one point, that's where all the black people went. But I think there's
Exactly.
still enough people around to say, "Hey,
I
this will
hope.
not happen."
But see, but
I hope
James,
that's the case, and
this
they
is
will
why
get
you have.
support from other schools. Like I'm sure
Yeah.
Norcom
Oh,
alums
definitely
will
so.
support them
Definitely so.
in their efforts in any way we can.
Which is why we have to be diligent and we have to stay on guard, because
Mm.
even with Norcom, it seemed like every 30 years there was a plan put together to change Norcom or close Norcom. It started in the 70s, around your time. Then it came back in the 90s and the 80s. Then it came back in the 90s, and even up to recently, the building of the new Norcom. There was a hopes that they would name it the high school. So there have been so many measures put into place to change Norcom High School from being what it is. But getting
Yeah.
back to the VIA,
Hmm.
I am a member of the VIA Historical Society Association now, and we at Norcom had an opportunity to name 2 people to be inducted into the VIA Hall of Fame. I submitted the name of Horace Savage. This man is 100 years old. I want to give him all the flowers I can give him as he lives. And so I submitted the name of Horace Savage. We had another member who was supposed to have submitted a name, but they didn't get the name in time. So Norcom actually only has one inductee from the Norcom Association, and that's Mr. Horace Savage. He will be inducted into the VIA Hall of Fame in June in Charlottesville, Virginia. And we plan to have a little 18 passenger, a little van, or if we need more, we would do that in order to go up to celebrate his induction into the VIA Hall of Fame. Also, I got a call from a friend in the Newport News area who asked me if it was okay if he could nominate Johnny Morris. Well, anybody from back in the day remembers number 11, Johnny Morris, on the Norcom basketball team, who scored 127 points in one basketball game, and they didn't have any three-pointers at that time. So
Yeah,
all
that's
of these
more than
players
what
scored.
Wilt Chamberlain did.
Hey, so in June, we will have two Norcom individuals who will be inducted into the VIA Hall of Fame, and that's going to be Mr. Horace Savage and Mr. Johnny Morris. And we're just so happy that we will have finally have individuals who will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And all of these records are being archived on the campus of Virginia State University. So we're just so happy to have Mr. Savage and Mr. Johnny Morris to be inducted into the Hall of Fame in Charlottesville in June, into the VIA Hall of Fame. So get in touch with me if you want to ride with us, because we're going to ride up there in real style, in Norcom style, in support of these
Yes.
Norcom individuals who are being Coach Savage is being inducted as a coach, and Johnny Morris, of course, is being inducted based upon his basketball achievements.
So they take names annually because we have to get Bob Smith in there
We
because
do, we do.
I know he spent a good part of his coaching
I
time at
agree.
Norcom in that system
I agree.
before it was integrated
Unfortunately, they only take two names per school each year.
each year. Okay,
So
and it's just amazed that these will be the first two Norcom
first two
people
Norcom people, and
involved in that. But
I've been going for the past. Well, we joined maybe 3 years ago. Norcom Alumni Association joined the VIA 3 years ago, and of course we joined the first year. We didn't get the name in. The second year we missed out on putting a name in. This year we were determined to get names in, and next year we will be prepared to put two names in again next year to be inducted into the VIA Hall of Fame.
yeah, and Huddy mentioned George Moody as well.
George Moody as well.
Because
We
Moody could go in as a coach and a player.
Yes. We have
uh,
a plethora of people. We got General Short.
yes, yes.
We got
So
so many
over the
people.
years going forward, each year we're going to
Yeah,
nominate people from that era because I think by the time I got to Norcom and was involved in sports, that system wasn't in place. It was more
yeah,
integrated then. You know.
yeah. I think they came the association. Yeah, I think they changed then, James.
Hmm.
During the year in which you all were playing, we moved away from the VIA. We actually moved away from the VIA after integration, really.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
and so, but I'm thankful for the fact that they are archiving the history of those individuals, and these are my wonderful Norcom leadership team, my team there with Miss Sabrina. Miss Sabrina Bass is standing right in the front. She's a Norcom student, and these are the individuals who signed up to join DECA so that
Is
our
that the
DECA
student you were
chapter.
talking about earlier?
Yes, that's Sabrina. That's
Okay,
Sabrina.
I didn't know. I thought I had a picture of her, but I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought
Yeah, that's
that's.
Sabrina Bass there. That's when she spoke before the Alumni Association,
Hmm.
encouraging the alumni members to join DECA, because apparently DECA has to have so many individuals outside of the DECA Association itself to join for the each of the organizations have to have people outside the DECA Association to join. So many of the alumni members here that you see on this picture, they volunteered to join DECA. You see Lynn Browley and Nicole. They already have their membership. They were the first two to sign up to become members of DECA. So we are trying to support the students in the school system. And James, before we get away from here, let me just say one thing about Miss Rodrika Harmon, who we're getting away from Norcom to Wilson High School.
Hmm.
Who Rodrika, she and her team were instrumental in starting the Wilson High School Alumni Association, and I'm thankful that they invited me in to as they were making preparations to get their association started. And the Wilson High School, they have gotten their alumni association going, and I'm just so proud of the great works that Rodrika Harmon and her team are doing with the Wilson Group. I was glad to be able to join them for their white celebration, all white celebration at times on the river this month. And they're doing some amazing things, and we're looking to do some things with the Wilson, the Norcom Alumni Association, the Wilson Alumni Association, coming together to do some things together. And if some other association want to come together, but I think that with us talking about the possibilities of our coming together, it would help the children to see that there's no real rivalry. There's rivalry in sports. There's rivalry getting being the highest one with the educational level. But the main thing is that we come together and we work together for the benefit of all the students in the city of Portsmouth.
Yeah, and Benet, my wife Benet,
Craddock High.
graduated from Craddock, and she just went to a meeting. Her class get ready to celebrate their 50th year, and maybe at some point that they will uh, put
Come and
together
join us too.
alumni
Yeah.
association for them, because I think all our schools in the city of Portsmouth are historic and
Exactly.
has some significance to it, especially when the integration started and blacks started to go, and the stories that we could tell about some of those students that had to go there in the beginning when they first
Uh-huh.
started, when
Exactly.
they
Exactly. And
weren't prepared to
they got
go
some
there,
stories
and
to
the people
tell.
that were there weren't prepared to receive them and what they went
Exactly.
through. But it was their school, just like we
Exactly.
feel a certain way about our school.
Mm-hmm.
Wilson feels a certain way about their school. A lot of
Exactly.
things happened for them during those formative years,
Mm-hmm.
and they will always remember that. So it should be they should be just as proud, which they are, as we are. It's just that we just have a little bit more to our
A little more.
to us, and that's just the Norcom way. And some people
Exactly.
say it's arrogance. We say we were prepared by our teachers to feel like that we were the best, and that's the way
Exactly.
we approach
Exactly.
life. And
Exactly.
it's not
Exactly.
arrogance; it's just pride, more so
That's
pride
exactly. That's
in
exactly what it is.
in being a part of something so great, and uh, walking down the halls that so many great people
Mm-hmm.
walked down before us and paved the way for us.
Mm-hmm. And so
That's what it's all about.
historical. And we don't have many buildings or things that we can claim except for churches as a people. There are
Mhm.
not many things that we can claim as a people that was a part of our pride, a part of our heritage. And that would be Norcom High School. So we're just thankful for that as well. And it's just been James, it's been an amazing year. Oh, hey, Lewis Bracer said we call it fat swag. That's
Swag.
exactly what it is, Lewis. That's exactly what it is. But there's so many wonderful things coming up in the city of Portsmouth, James. And if you follow me on my page, you will be able to see I get a lot of invitations in the course of a day. I have to pick and select those things that I do attend. But when I do
It
attend,
seems like you just go to all of them. You and Bobby Scott can go to multiple things in one day, and yeah, I might could go to two
uh-huh.
and manage that well, but I could not go to any more like you do. But that's always been your nature, Leah.
From the
You
very
know,
beginning,
from
James.
the very beginning, to be able to manage to be at a lot of different places at the same time, and
Mhm.
the information you share, really keeps people involved, and then be able to come on Coffee Talk here and share it as well is
Yes,
something that
yes.
we're going to do from time to time. We have to follow
Thank
what you
you.
do, and people don't see it on your page, they see it up here on Coffee Talk. And
Exactly, on Coffee Talk.
yes.
Exactly so.
Let me show. Are you familiar with this event coming up?
Kwanzaa, yes. Diana Chappelle, yes. This is coming up. You know, um,
We want to
uh,
support Diana
we
Chappelle
need to
too.
support Diana Chappelle. We need to support Kwanzaa. You know, I went last year to one of the events. I expect to attend all of the events this time. That's from December the 28th through January the 1st. And there was a time when we all got to, well, not all, a great deal of people got together to support Kwanzaa. As my as my Sankofa group, we celebrated Kwanzaa every year. And once my Sankofa group disbanded, I have not really been as involved in Kwanzaa. Once I used to have it here in my house every year, talking about the Ngosa Saba and the wonderful things that Kwanzaa will teach us. So I'm looking forward to supporting Diana Chappelle in this event, which takes place December 28th. And it's going to be in Norfolk, right off of Military Highway. And they have vendors there. They have panels where individuals participate on a panel, and it's usually a fun time. So on the 28th is from 12 to 4, and on January 1st is 3 p.m. And I am looking forward, and I hope that many of you will consider coming out to expose your children to Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday. It is a celebration of the harvest by Dr. Mulana Karenga, who started it. And so let's go out and support Kwanzaa, and let's support Diana Chappelle. She's another person out here in the community. She's all over the place doing great things in the community. Let's support our people who are supporting us. And let's go out and celebrate Kwanzaa with Diana Chappelle and the Kwanzaa. And they have a lady there. I can't think of her name now. She's an older lady. My kids keep reminding me when I say somebody's an older lady, they keep saying, well, Miss Leah, you are one of the older ladies. So I guess I am. But anyway, there's an older lady there who does quilting, and she does magnificent quilting. So you get to see some amazing entrepreneurs at this event as well. So come out to the marketplace, support Dinah Chappelle, support Kwanzaa, and I can guarantee you're going to have a great time as well.
Indeed,
And knowledge.
indeed.
And you're going to get some knowledge too, because they usually have panels there discussing things that are pertinent to our community and our lifestyles.
Yes, and Leah, thanks for bringing us up to date with all the things you're doing. And I'm sure we couldn't cover everything, but I think we touched on some things. Let's see, Bracy has a comment here.
I agree with you,
Yes,
Tracy.
indeed. Agree with you, Lewis. And hopefully, all those people we saw out there shopping are shopping with black businesses as well, and staying away from the ones that we acknowledge to stay away from. So,
Exactly, exactly. And don't forget
uh,
Ebony Arts in the Chesapeake Square, which they're just about torn it down. I think she's one of the last standing businesses out there in Chesapeake Square. But Ebony Arts, she has some nice items that you can give your kids, historical items. You can give your kids to teach them about their history. Um, you don't have to go all the way to Norfolk. You can go right to Chesapeake Square to Ebony Arts and pick up some lovely things for your children for the Christmas holidays
yeah,
and family members.
she has some great stuff in there. I was talking to my daughter the other day, trying to figure out what maybe the granddaughter might want, or something like that. And one thing, my daughter is good about. You get some toys that you just play with, but she tries to pick things that are fun to play with, but also educational. So
Educational, yes.
think about that, people, when you're trying to figure out what you want to get for your children. It's plenty of things out there that can be fun for them too, but they can learn at the same time,
Exactly,
and
exactly.
and that's very important, along with those
Uh-huh.
bicycles and things like skates and all that stuff that people still,
Exactly.
if people still skate, I don't know, maybe, I'm sure they do,
Well,
but
James, I remember growing up in Truxton, and we would skate right on up there. It wasn't Portsmouth Boulevard, then it was Gosport Road. We would all get together as a group and we'd skate up Gosport Road. So
yeah, I remember there used to be this little open space where you you would skate, where everybody would come out and skate, or people would be skating all up and down the uh, the streets and things like that. And
exactly.
everybody would get skates during Christmas,
Exactly,
and that was
exactly.
always a fun thing to do.
Uh-huh.
And but we have one more show before Christmas, so we'll be able to talk more about that. And so, Leah, again, appreciate it, but I have to show this. This
Oh,
is
James,
yeah,
congratulations.
this was something I was very proud to get. Black Men Rock Image Award for Resilient, Selfless Servant. That was the title on the award I got, and it was kind of funny. I kept talking about it because I was so proud of it. And one of
Uh-huh.
my neighbors, former neighbors, who lives in Maryland now, his name is Ira Don. We called him Jake in the
I
neighborhood.
remember Ira.
Yeah, and he said one of the pictures I put up after I'd put up quite a few. He said, "Congratulations again, Slim." you know, and, and that's when I realized I said I might be putting this up too a little too much. But anyway, I was so proud of it, and just like I said, I've gotten a few awards over the years for things I've done, but this one was really kind of special because it made me think about my dad and what he told me
Uh-huh.
to really concentrate on serving my city and my community, and
Exactly.
just trying to be a good human being.
Mm-hmm.
And I told people that night, even though I didn't follow in his profession like he really wanted me to do, but that part he telling me about to make sure I serve my community
Uh-huh.
and my city, that's one thing I can be proud of that I did do. And some of the boards I sat on, he had sat on as the first black person to sit on it. So still stand on his shoulders. So that's why that particular award was more. Not I'm not going to say more special, but it was special to me, along with the other awards that other groups and organizations have given me. So I really
And
enjoyed
James,
that,
it is
and
so
along with the
valuable.
other men, it was like 20 some men that they
Yes.
honored, and they've been doing it for 12 years and
Yeah.
recognizing black men and at a different award, black women and their
Mm-hmm.
achievements, and you know, it was just
James,
a great
James,
feeling.
you truly deserved it. I really would have loved to have been there with you, but once again, conflict, conflict, conflict. But
Yeah, yeah,
I knew you would stand tall and you would represent us well. And so I just want to say congratulations, my friend. They could not have picked a better person for the award that you received. Believe me.
yeah, and thanks. And Portsmouth was well represented there. Sheriff Moore was one of
Sheriff
the
Moore,
honorees.
Noah
Uh,
Everett.
yeah, and who was the
Yeah.
other Portsmouth person? Wow. Of course, Bobby Scott
Bobby Scott.
was one
Yeah.
of them.
Cliff,
Delegate Hayes
was Cliff
was
Hayes
one
one
of
of them
them.
as well? Cliff Hayes as
Who?
well? Cliff Hayes.
Yes, Cliff Hayes.
Uh-huh.
Delegate Hayes was one of them.
Yes.
But why is it escaping me? It was one other Portsmouth person. But anyway, charge it
Chester
to my.
Benton. Chester Benton.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the
Chester
legend
Benton.
DJ Chester Benton,
Yes, yes.
also from our neighborhood of Truxton,
That's
and he
right.
was one of the other ones. So Portsmouth was represented in the group of men, as well as the other group of men that were honored from all different walks of life, and that's what I appreciated about it. It wasn't just a select few. It was recognizing what things that black men do in a lot of different areas that
Exactly.
don't often get recognized. And that's why I was sort of honored to be among those men there. I met some people and made some connections where a few of them will end up next year on Portsmouth Coffee Talk because they have some
Exactly. Exactly.
real stories to tell. So
And
look
James,
forward to next year.
we must commend the young lady who does this every year. She does
Yes,
an
Latrice
amazing job.
Carter, Dr.
Latrice Carter.
Latrice
Yes.
Carter.
She
First
does an
met her
amazing
at Grove
job.
Chapel.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So,
First met her at Grove when she was a teenager singing in the choir in the old
uh-huh.
church of Grove Baptist Church, and she has really come a long way since then. And she's a counselor, a clinician, and just doing great things. And
Uh-huh.
we appreciate her, and she's been recognized. And the last thing we'll show here before we go, this is a picture
Oh
of
yes.
the senior housing that they just opened called Lexington
Yep.
Reserve, I believe,
Alexis in reserve. Yes. Okay.
reserved,
Okay.
and
Uh-huh.
it's the in the area where the old Lincoln Park was, and
Uh-huh.
in the back there, and it's a beautiful place. I saw. I didn't go to the ceremony, but I saw somebody, Yolanda. Edmonds Thomas was filming in there, and it's a beautiful place. And I'm glad they have something like that because I remember some years back, some people had reached the point where they were seniors and they, didn't they wanted to downsize and they
Uh-huh.
wanted to stay in Portsmouth, but it was nothing really for them, not a senior facility in Portsmouth
Uh-huh.
for them to go, and they end up going to Suffolk, even though they wanted to really stay
Stay in
in
Portsmouth,
Portsmouth
yes.
because they've been in
Mm-hmm.
Portsmouth all their life, but they had to downsize. The house they were in was too much for them, but
Uh-huh.
and they had to, regrettably, they had to go to Suffolk. And now we have this, and I think something else is in the works as well as far as senior housing
Yeah,
in the
they
city
did
of
say
Portsmouth.
there's something else in the makings as well.
Yeah, I think
And
in,
you know,
in
and,
Churchland.
and James, we're so proud to say that a 1993 grad of Norcom is the PRHA director, Lisa
Oh
Winston.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
doing an amazing job.
And it seemed like it was the housing authority, Portsmouth Housing Authority, and collection of and breeding was involved in that too.
Right.
The
Hmm.
and the Virginia Housing Authority, I believe. So it was a collective effort of a lot of different groups, securing the grants and everything
Hmm.
and the
Hmm.
funds that it needed to uh, to put this together. And it looks like a very fine facility
It does. It
for
does.
seniors, 1 and 2 bedrooms, and activity rooms, a workout room,
Uh-huh.
everything that I'm sure to be security there, anything that you would want to stay healthy, stay active,
Hmm.
but just to downsize because most people don't need all of that once you reach
Exactly.
get
Exactly.
to a certain age. It's just a little too much. All the
A
kids are
little too
gone,
much.
a little too much to have. But
And you
I
and you
just I
get
had to show that.
and you get to stay in Portsmouth, which is a good thing.
And you get to stay in Portsmouth, and many of those people were born and raised in Portsmouth. And just because you reach that age, that doesn't mean that you have to go to some other city and live out the rest of your life.
Exactly.
You want to live
Exactly.
out the rest of your life in the city that you were born.
Exactly.
So this is a big step. And yes, and
Hmm.
thanks for the Portsmouth Housing Authority to be the lead on that and make something out of a space. And when I was in real estate, is it was always location, location,
Location,
location,
location.
and using the best opportunity you have for the land that you have. And
Hmm.
that's indeed what they did, even on the front part of where Lincoln Park used to be.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
So that's it. Thank you, and thanks
Yeah.
everybody. We kind of went over, but anyway, we had a lot to share today, and we hope that you enjoyed. And now you know how. If you don't see Leah some places, you know why, because she's always somewhere. You might have to make an appointment just to have a conversation with her. If you can get in
Just
there.
trying to do the right thing, James, and stay in my
Yes,
community and share all the good things that are going on in the community.
yes,
All
and
the
you
wonderful
definitely
things that are taking place.
You definitely do that, and we appreciate it. And thanks everybody for watching. And make sure you like, subscribe, continue to subscribe to Portsmouth Coffee Talk. Don't think because and if you already subscribed, make sure you like every show. When you
Exactly.
sit there and watch, make sure you hit that like button. Uh, many people forget to do that, and that's so important in the logarithms of Facebook, especially with
Hmm.
Facebook. Well, Facebook and especially with YouTube,
YouTube,
they
yes.
really look at those things. And the more we have likes and subscriptions, the more we can do in the YouTube space. So
Exactly.
still share this information. Make sure you tell people about Portsmouth Coffee Talk and make sure that they subscribe so we can continue. We've been around for a while, but those numbers of subscriptions have been sort of slow coming. And
Hmm.
we should be way up there in the thousands by now, but we're not there
Exactly.
yet. So, but we're going to continue to do what we do here if just two people are watching,
Exactly. And the
because we
thing
feel
about it
like
is,
what
and we're not going to
go-
do sensational things just to get you to watch. We're
just
going
to
to do
get you to
those
watch. We're
things
not
that,
going to
that
go there. We're going to
no,
stay
no,
fair and
no.
honest, and we might have some,
Exactly.
we might have some hot topics up here
Of
from
course,
time to time that, but
hot topics are good.
it's not just to get your views. It's just to add to what we try to do here as far as sharing information. And if it
Exactly.
happens to be hot, it happens to be hot. It's hot. All right. Thanks again, Leah. I
Thank you,
appreciate you. And
James.
thanks, everybody. And we'll see you next time. And we'll see you next month. We have another show before Christmas, but get out there and be safe in your travels while you're out there Christmas shopping and be, be mindful on
Exactly.
that money
Well, thank you.
and what we might be facing as a nation,
Come the
and
first
the
of the
last
year.
thing, I keep
Uh-huh.
saying the last thing, I'm like a preacher, one more Mariner minute, as Reverend Mariner would say. Uh, one more thing, elections have consequences, as we talked earlier about the judges that are appointed. A longtime Senator Louise Lucas has a big hand in that, and has for a long time in selecting
Exactly.
the judges and being able to negotiate with other legislators. Okay, we have this judge here. So if we are losing uh, two black judges out of the circuit court, they're being replaced by two more black judges. And
And
I just had to
the
mention that.
first
We're
African American female judge
And
in the
yes, the
court.
first African American female judge, and it's significant to our community, and I hope it's significant to all the communities. But I just had to make that point, so it's important who we put in office and where we put them, and what
Exactly.
we can do for our communities and society as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, we're going this time. We'll
James,
see you.
have a wonderfully blessed day today.
You too, Leah. Appreciate you. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Be our guest on the Portsmouth Coffee Talk.